Today we're going to do some exercises that will be nice to warm up your back, get your back moving, and also some work to strengthen your tummy muscles and your core. So let's have a lie down, and you just have your knees bent with your feet flat on the ground, your hands down beside you, and just wriggle around and think of having a nice straight line through your back. Good. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths before you start. So breathe in through your nose, just feeling your tummy lift up, and then a nice deep breath out. And again, in through the nose, and slowly out through the mouth. Good. And pop your hands down beside you. So your feet are hip width apart, so your heels are lined up with your sitting bones, and you just take notice that the whole sole of your foot is down on the ground. Then from here you're going to press your lower back into the mat and then release, and your tailbone comes down towards the mat, making a little arch in the low back. And then again, press that little arch down into the floor and release. Good. So you're just rocking your pelvis forward and back. Try and just think of it as an easy movement. You're not gripping or squeezing your glutes or anything. Just a rock of the pelvis to release your pelvis. Feeling that movement all the way up through your spine and maybe even a little bit through your head and neck. Your arms are long, stretching long beside you. So I breathe in when I reach the tailbone down towards the ground, and then breathe out when the pelvis comes up towards the ribs. In Pilates, it's nice to connect your movement to your breathing. Good. And then just come back to where you feel like you're even. And then from here, we're going to take a breath in. And when you breathe out, you tuck your pelvis towards your ribs, pressing your lower back into the mat, and then you stand up on your feet to lift your hips up, making a nice straight line through your spine, and then you roll your body back down. So just rolling your spine down, trying to articulate your spine so you can feel each part of your back touching the ground, and then all the way down. Breathe in, breathe out to roll up. When you're up at the top here, you take a nice deep breath in, and then you breathe out and roll down. And then you do that again. Breathe in, breathe out, tilt the pelvis, stand up on strong feet, reach the knees over your toes. Breathe in, open your chest, and breathe out, just melting your body down. I'm trying to keep my knees parallel, my thigh bones parallel as well. Let's do two more. So just rolling up. Sometimes our knees will go outwards. You want to try and think of the inner thighs drawing together a little bit, and back and down. And last one here. Good. You don't need to go up too high. Let your ribs settle into your body, and then roll back down. Good. And then just make sure your shoulders haven't come up to your ears. And we're going to do some movement, some leg lifts now. So just pop your hands here on your hip bones, because the trick is to keep your pelvis nice and steady on the ground. So nice evenness. So where your neutral spine is, so remember we tilted forward and back, just going to find where it's even between those 2 points, and keep your body still there as you just lift up one leg. So your shin is level with the floor, and then you pop that foot back down. Do the same leg, lift it up, and breathe out, put it down. And again, just floating the leg up, and float it down. So if you've got your hands here, you're just giving yourself some feedback to make sure that you're staying as still as you can. That way you're sort of using your tummy muscles to keep your pelvis steady as you move your leg. So the thigh bone comes up, and then you arc the thigh bone away from you. last time. Back and down. Then let's go on to the other side. Don't rush. So feel even again. And then you just float the leg up and pop it down. Breathe in as it comes up. Breathe out as you pop it down. And in and out. So the bend of the knee stays the same. I'm not putting the foot down by bending the knee to put the foot down. I'm just trying to think of arcing the thigh bone away from me. Makes my tummy work a bit more. And a nice light foot, just tap it down and then float it up and then you pop it down. Good, hands down beside you now. What to do now is one leg comes up into tabletop and the other arm lifts up towards the ceiling. So opposite arm and leg, and then those go back down. Then we swap sides. Opposite arm and leg, and back and down. So your hip bones are steady and your shoulders are steady. And just think of your breathing as well. So you breathe in when you float up, and you breathe out as you pop down. And again, in and out. In and out. One more each side. Good. And then you go to lift one leg up, leave it there, and then bring the other leg up as well. Then both hands go up to the ceiling too. So if this gets a little bit too much for you, you feel like you're gripping too much through the front of the legs, your modification would be just to have one leg down and one leg up. But see how you go with both up to start, and then make a change if you need to. So here, the opposite arm and leg are going to reach away from you and then come back. So that's 2. Let's do 6 on each side. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, and then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, and then put one foot down, then the other. Take your arms, reach them over your head for a nice big stretch. And then bring them back down beside you. Glue your legs together, feet together, hands down just beside you. And here we're just going to keep the knees together and just take your knees to one side, keeping the feet stacked up together, and then come back and go the other way. So here we're getting a nice twist for your back. See if you can keep the knees together and the backs of your shoulder blades down on the floor. Take it up to the next level if you like. Legs would come up into tabletop, and same thing. So you're just taking it side to side and just being aware of what's going on the back, your upper back, just keeping it down. Sometimes I take my hands out wide here to help me keep my shoulder blades down. So I breathe in to go over to the side and then breathe out when I come back. And if you want it a little bit harder, you would go over to the side, nice long legs. So you could do a couple with long legs, using your legs like a big long lever. Just a little bit more work for your side waist to bring the legs back. Watch your shoulders don't creep up. Keep your arms long. Good. And then bend your knees and put your feet down on the ground. Good. Now hands go behind the back of your head. So just interlace your hands and pop them behind the back of your head and separate your feet again so they're hip width apart. Lift up your elbows off the floor, and then from here we're just going to lift up your head and chest and then roll back down. So you're lifting up and roll back down and lift up and down. So again, I'm keeping my pelvis neutral like a practice, feeling the tummy muscles wrap inward. Good. And then to take it up to the next level, we're going to do some with the knees up. If you want to keep your legs down, you go ahead and do that. So take a breath in to start, and then breathe out when you lift up and back and down. And lift up and down. Lift up. And then we're going to take a little twist when you come up. So when you come up, you're just going to twist towards one side and the opposite leg goes long. Yeah? And then come back. Stay lifted, twist, and back to center. And twist, and back. Breathe out when you twist. Two more. 1 and 2. That's it. And give your knees a hug. And a little rock side to side. Legs go up into tabletop. Hands go behind your thighs. And from here, just lift up your head and chest like we just did a little chest lift. And then you're going to push your legs into your hands so your arms go straight. And then take another deep breath in. And when you breathe out, you're just going to arc your legs away from you and help yourself roll up. Good, roll back. So we're just going to lay your back down and roll down slowly as you can. Yeah, take a breath in, breathe out, lift up, make your legs push into your hands push into your legs. Take another breath in, breathe out and roll your body up. The rounder you can make your back, the better. And then rolling back. With control, just let your feet slide towards you and then your knees float up over your hips. And lifting up, one fluid movement this time, round back and sit up tall. Pull your legs towards you and let your chest lift up. Good, arms come up with you, big circle back and behind. Nice little lift of the chest. And that's it for today, well done.